What's going on YouTube? Blaze Shadowthorn here, coming back at you with a VGC Wi-Fi battle. That's right, VGC. I normally don't play VGC. In fact, I don't play VGC ever. But I got challenged to VGC in my last stream. And I was thinking to myself, I make it a point to play every tier I get challenged possible, even if it's a tier I don't play like VGC. So I scrounged around in my box. I pulled out a couple of mons that I figured that I knew were VGC. All my Pokemon are Kalos bred, all that fun stuff. So you know, I decided to take this, and I figured, you know, why not? I'll play some VGC. Looking at my opponent's team, it looks very threatening, and since he challenged me in the tier, I assume he knows VGC very well, so I'm not confident going out into this battle. But I decided to lead off with my Gyarados and my Landorus core, just because I know that's a pretty solid core, not only because I get the double Intimidate off, but since they both have EQ, and they're both levitating Pokemon, I can fire off EQs without fearing, without hitting myself. So Landers can get nice stab EQs off, and Gyarados can get off EQs without hurting Landers. So I figured it's a pretty solid core. So I intimidate both the Sceptile and the Haxorus. That's good for the Haxorus. I'm not entirely sure if that's good for the Sceptile as of yet, but he ends up hitting up my Katie's nose with an Outrage. This is my bulky Swords Dance sub Landorus, so I'm feeling relatively good, and I take that EQ pretty nicely. End up going for an Earthquake first turn with my Gyarados, trying to get some damage off on that. Pretty much getting rid of that Haxorus is my #1 priority. I'm not really too worried about that that Sceptile right now. I go behind a sub with Landers because getting behind a sub on Landers is going to be pretty critical. And if I can get up an SD or two, then with the combination of both Rock Slide and EQ that my Landorus packs, it will definitely be my win condition this game. Haxorus hits Gyarados with this next Outrage. That's not really a problem. I don't really need Gyarados for much of anything except to continually fire off EQs. I'll end up getting a crit on the Haxorus. I'm going to say crit doesn't really matter because even if you fired off another EQ, I'm pretty sure I could live at this point in time. And the Sceptile is going to start outraging as well. So just like every one of his Pokemon learns Outrage, which is just completely awesome in my opinion. It's just really cool. And this Sceptile is turning out to be a little bit of a problem because it's not dead, but it is physical, so fortunately for me, it still is at -2. It still got affected by the double Intimidate, which is grand for me. He's going to send out his Porygon 2, and I'm like, oh god, it's this bulky thing. I don't know how to deal with this. I do not know how to deal with this bulky tool. I don't know how to deal with this. But fortunately for me, because Katie's nose is behind a sub, it does not get infected by the Intimidate that it gets traced, but it's fine. I'm going to fire off yet another EQ because I'm hoping at the range of HP that the Sceptile's at, I can kill it off. But because of that Intimidate, Sceptile's barely going to be living on with this little sliver of HP. He's going to end up hitting the sub up on my Katie's nose. But because of all the defense investment I have in it, it's not going to be able to break it because it is at -2, and I am running more of a bulkier variant. Which is fantastic. I'm finally able to knock out that Sceptile with one last EQ from Landers, picking up that nice KO. And Porygon 2 is going to hit up my Landorus with a Tri-Attack that is going to be able to break my sub because of the prior damage it took. I'm not entirely sure if it's offensive or defensive Porygon 2 yet. I'm going to say it's defensive because not many people rock the offensive Porygon 2. But it's a possibility. I don't know a spread. But he's down to his last 2 Pokemon, and I'm still have all 4 of mine, which is like unheard of at this point in time. I'm like, wow, I'm actually doing kind of decent for a VGC match that I haven't played in a while. But he said it was a new team, so I assume he wasn't using like his uber powerful, like competitive VGC team. It's just a fun team he was testing out. So you know, I didn't take it like when he told me that I was like, aw, you got my hopes up, man. I thought I was finally good at VGC. I'm gonna take this team to Worlds. I'm gonna win all this money and the fame, and everything will be mine. But no, I'd probably get my ass handed to me. Charizard's gonna go for the Solar Beam though, because Mega Evolving into Mega Y, which is cool. And bye-bye Lake of Rage, my Gyarados. It's gone. It's not coming back ever. Gyarados is no rip. And there goes my my perfect 4-0 flawless victory. And it didn't end up happening. But I am able to get a crit on that Porygon 2. That crit didn't matter. Because obviously any damage I get off that. The flinch didn't really matter either in my opinion, because even if he got like an Ice Beam off on my Katie's nose, I would have been able to bring in both my Amoonguss and my Porygon Z, which Porygon Z is all I need at this point in time because I can go for the Protect, and the Last Resort hit it up for really hard damage, and then I could have just spored for with my Amoonguss to, you know, pretty much assure my victory. So the flinch there did not matter. I just got a little bit more damage off with Landers' EQ. That's all it did. He ends up getting a revenge crit with Ice Beam. Same as before, crit didn't really matter because at this point in time I had the game in the bag just because of the mons he had left. I'm able to hit up with that last resort. I mean, he might have been able to live if I hadn't gotten the extra EQ damage off, but like I said before, if he would have killed off my Landers, I would have been able to bring in my Amoonguss, and I would have been able to either Giga Drain or Spore him at that point in time, maybe even Sludge Bomb, and I still would have won. So that's going to be a VGC game for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you want me to play more VGC, let me know down in the comment section below, and I will promptly ignore all those comments because VGC, I don't know, it's just a tier that I don't know very well, and I don't really want to learn how to play. But a game now and then, if someone challenges me, it's fine, and I'll probably upload it, win or loss. Most likely loss. This game I got really lucky with the team I brought. It matched up well against his. So I'm not going to say this was skill at all. It's just a double Intimidate core with EQ sounded really cool to me. And since I don't know the team very well, I was like, you know, let's throw some stuff together. So that's going to be it. Rate, comment, sub. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.